Hey guys, Abraham here. I just wanted to remind you guys that we upload all of our courses to Skillshare. Skillshare is this amazing site where you can access a ton of different content to learn, improve, and grow as an artist. We have all of our courses available to watch and learn from right now in Skillshare. You can check the description down here, and Skillshare is offering 1 free month trial to their premium membership. With this membership, you're going to be able to access all of our courses and watch and learn all of the amazing things that we cover with all of the softwares. So, what are you waiting for? Check Skillshare down here below. Hey guys, welcome back to another video in this channel. Today we're gonna start with a new series. There's a project that I found that I think is gonna be cool. It's beginner level friendly, and it might give you guys some ideas for the contest that we announced yesterday. So we're gonna be modeling a shield. I'm gonna show you the concept in just a second. But before that, I do want to go over some of the questions that we got from yesterday's video from the contest. So I'm just gonna address them real quick. So Amon List asks about a Discord server. We're looking into that. Unfortunately, the time that we have available, some of the instructors that we have available, like, we can't be 24/7 answering questions, otherwise we wouldn't be able to work. So we're looking at ways in which we can solve that. But yes, it's on the horizon. Nicole says that talking about the not safe for work stuff, yeah, so if you want to add a character, I mean, you're welcome to do so. However, I do recommend that you focus on the weapon itself. There's very good ways to present the weapons, like on a crystal display, or like in a museum piece, even just like stuck on the ground, or looking at like the sword on the stone. Like, there's a lot of ways where you can present the weapon, and the weapon is the highlight of the scene. I would recommend that you go for something like that, because the character sometimes can take away from the weapon. But yeah, if you want to add a background, or if you want to add other stuff, that's fine. It could be 2D painted, like a matte painting and stuff, but make sure that the render and the presentation for the weapon is what looks at the best. Okay. There's a lot of Dr. Manhattan, as always, with very good ideas, like having a course where we do it and then you guys implement it. I think we can do that for the future. That's pretty cool. It's gonna be friendly for noobs as well. So Popper Penguin, don't worry about that. And I think that's pretty much all of the questions. T-Sor here asks, there's a theme yet? The theme's at the end of the video. The theme is the weapon. You're welcome to create your own weapon. And yeah, that's pretty much it. If you guys have more questions, just let me know, and we'll go over them as well, so that we're all on the same page. So let me set the project real quick, and let me show you the project, or the concept that we're going to be developing. I was thinking about like creating our own concept, which you should do, and we will do that later on, like probably like next week or in the next couple of weeks. I will create my own weapon and we'll develop it so that you have a guide. But right now, I just want to give you an idea of how to start something once you have something that looks interesting. So yeah, let's go over here next to the live. There we go, and set. Okay, so I'm gonna go to front view real quick, and we're gonna insert this image. You guys know I'm a fan of D&D. We actually started a new campaign yesterday with my group, and it's been fun so far. But I found this shield. Where is it? I always forget to like rename things properly. There was this like a concept art shield that someone did, and I was like, hey, that looks cool, and I can show you a couple of tips and tricks about topology as well. There we go, this one. So it's called the Shield of Shields. So it's like a shield made out of different shields. And I think this is a really, again, beginner-friendly project, because as you can see, the complexity of the elements, it's not that bad actually. It's very symmetrical, so we only need to do one half of the element, and we'll pretty much get the other half for free. Maybe the complicated part, or one of the complicated parts, is the fact that it's like bended, but I'm going to show you a couple of techniques that we can do. So whenever you're looking at a project such as this one, and you want to like start, and you don't know where to start, my advice is divide the object into pieces. Like, how many pieces do we actually have here? Well, we have the 2 upper panels, the 2 lower panels, we have the 2 side panels, which are just, this is like a sci-fi-ish shield. You can see this sort of like magic electrical thing on the back, and then we have the cross at the center that's also giving us this sort of bite. So as long as we can create everything, or as we can separate everything, if we start dissecting each piece, it's going to be a lot easier to find a way to create all of the elements. So I'm going to start with the center here, because it's just so easy. It's just a sphere, right? So let's just create a sphere, get it to the proper size, rotate it so that it's facing towards us, And that's it. That's pretty much what we have, right? After that, we have this like next part of the shield. It's like a ring, so we just create a ring. We rotate the ring to the side, 90 degrees. And on the inputs here, we're going to change the radius a little bit, section radius, and the radius again. And again, that's pretty much it. Let's grab the image and push it back so that we can see this right here. And there we go. I don't do this very often, but again, since I want to kind of keep this like beginner friendly and so that you guys can see the progress easily, I'm going to add some material. So I'm going to right click, assign new material. Let's do a Maya like bling material. And this is going to be this sort of like blue color, right, that we have right here. So like that. And then this one, assign new material, right click, assign new material, bling. And we're going to assign a gold material here. There we go. Now, the next part is, I was reading the description of this thing, and this thing kind of like creates more shields. That's why it's called the shield. It's just kind of like a joke item, but I think it's fun. And I would imagine that you would hold this thing somewhere, right? So that means that this next part, this next circle that we have right here, is actually not going to be a sphere. It's going to be like a concave section that you would probably hold on to, right? So I'm going to duplicate this sphere, make it so that we fit the next sphere that we have on the concept. And even though we don't have a side view, we can use our logic and say, hey, well, this thing's probably going to be like right about there. We can also imagine that this thing won't be like a full circle. It's probably going to be like a circular effect like this. So we're going to push it like that. And I'm going to delete half of it. I'm going to go into faces, select this edge loop, delete it, and then double click and select this guy to delete as well. And we're going to get this. Let's assign a different color. So again, Maya, bling, and let's do the dark blue that we have right here. There we go. So that would be pretty much it, right? Now, I would expect the handle of the shield to be on the back here. So that probably tells me that this thing is also not a sphere. It's more like a round effect. We can have the round effect, or another thing you could do is like grab this faces on the back and just like flatten them. So it's like a half sphere. That way we do have space over here. Now this one, let's keep some thickness. When you have a full object, you can press Ctrl E to extrude the full object and just like extrude in until we get the support right there. The normals are inverted, so we need to go mesh display and reverse the normals. And there we go. Now we have this next ring, which is again another ring, like a metal. This doesn't seem like a ring. Actually, it seems like more like metal supports where these things are kind of like hinging on. So I'm gonna create a ring. Well, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna change the radius on the subdivision axis to 4. Or sorry, no, that one. Let's keep it at 20. The height is gonna be 4, and we're gonna twist this 45 degrees. Pretty much like a cylinder. Like we could have also used a pipe. We rotate this 90 degrees. And let's play around with the radius and section radius. There we go. And as you can see, we pretty much get what we want. Now, again, these things are kind of like symmetrical. So one thing we can do is let's delete this faces right here. This faces right here. And all of this faces right here. Let's delete this faces right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the vertex right here. This guy. Just push it forward a little bit more. Let's align them so they're like straight. Same for this one. Or actually, since this is an object, the easiest and most precise way is delete this guys right here. Let's align those. Move the volume a little bit up. There we go. And since the pivot point is on the center, we just duplicate, rotate 45 degrees or 90 degrees, and then duplicate and rotate 270 minus 270. There's an extra one there. It's going to be minus 180. And there we go. So if we grab all of these guys again, as you're about to see, we get that sort of like metal frame, right? I'm going to grab all of them, combine them back into a single object. I'm going to say mesh fill holes so that all of those caps are filled. And we're going to make them, let's grab the object mode, we're going to make them thinner so that they match with what we kind of see over there. Bring them down here to where they like support. I would expect them to be on this side of the element, so they support the element. And of course, if we press number 3 and we soften them, they're gonna look horrible, right? So we need some support edges. I'm only gonna do it on one side, and you'll see why in just a second. So we're gonna do there, 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 and there. So as you can see, the right side looks good now. Right? Get this nice round effect. And the only thing we need to do here is just a mirror. So we're gonna mirror this to the X negative world. That way, whatever we did over here is gonna be over here. Front view, they look good. A little bit smaller in a couple of areas, but I think that's fine. We could make them a little bit bigger. So for instance, just like increase the size a little bit. Same for this one. I know that we're like deviating a little bit from the concept. Let's bring this back. There we go. And since we made that change, we should mirror this again so that they match on both sides. And that's it. That would be like the basic construction of this centerpiece right here. And now just for a quick blocking, I didn't do a blocking this time around. Normally when I work, I like to start with the blocking, but we can do a quick, very, very quick blocking right now. So for instance, let's just do this. Actually, let's just keep it straight. Let's go down here, because as you can see, they're slightly, oh, actually they're quite symmetrical over there. And then this one, let's rotate 90 degrees. Blockings are really good, especially when you're like prototyping. Right now at the studio, we've been working on a lot of VR stuff, and I tell my artists, don't worry about the model, just create a cube, create a cylinder, like whatever matches the general shape of what we need. Make sure that the programming part of things works in Unreal properly, and then we'll just replace it with like a clean topology, right? So as you can see, that will be that piece right there, and then we have to do the panels. So I'm gonna show you real quick how to do the panels. I'm gonna do this little piece right here, which again, they kind of seem to be symmetrical, and at the same time they don't. So I'm not sure if they are or not. But for this one, I really like using the Quadro tool. You know, you guys know I love the Quadro here inside of Maya. So I'm going to use create polygon. I'm just going to create a one polygon right here. And once I have that, I'm going to go into Quadro. And this is all about topology, right? So I know that this is a curvature. So I need to follow the curvature going down like this. That's a must. As you can see, I'm going on the highlight part because I know I can extrude the other part later on. And then I also want to have a loop going towards this side right here, especially because we have a circle. So whenever you have a circle, the best way to capture a circle is with 8 sides. So I'm going to create a nice 8-sided like loop right here, like a ring. And Maya has this very cool circularize option, mesh, or sorry, edit mesh, circularize to get like a perfect circle. So same for this one. There we go. So I know those are perfect circles. So when I smooth, everything's going to be a perfect circle again. And there we go. So now we just need to make sure that this topology right here flows in a relatively same direction as this one right here. And we'll do that with Quadro again. So I'm going to add another edge loop here that goes through the side like this. I want this to end right there so that we have a sharp edge right there. So we're going to have a square right there. And you can see how the topology kind of like flows there and then it flows back. Might need to add one more line right there. Let's push this back. There we go. Now I don't love having triangles, so let's try to solve them like this one. That's an easy fix right there. That's what we have. And then here, to avoid having triangles, let's just add one more point. Here, let's add one more line. That's going to be a square. That's going to be a square. And again, it's going to give us a nicer, cleaner topology. Let's just soften this up so that the parameters and everything are flowing nicely. Let's go into vertex mode, align those, and align those. I'm actually going to grab all of these guys. I'm going to align them as well. And I'm going to rotate them so they are like really nice and really straight. Same here. I'm going to manually like clean up a little bit of this curvature. So you have a nice clean curvature. It doesn't have to be perfectly symmetrical, I would say. But as long as it's a nice curvature, there we go. Because I know that once we have this object right here, what I can do is just, well, let's first make sure, yeah, they're all aligned. And the only thing I need to do here is just literally extrude this, like that, and then bevel. So I'm gonna grab the whole frontal or front border, and we're gonna bevel. And when we press number 3, as you can see, we're gonna get this very nice effect. Probably a couple of support edges. As I mentioned on the contest, this is supposed to be cinematic level, so that means that we can go a little bit higher on the resolution. We can use like subdivision modifiers and stuff like that, so we get this very, very nice effect. Look at that, super clean, sharp effect. Let's go to the front view. You do see a little bit of a pinch right here. We can play around with some of these vertices to clean their curvature a little bit more. There we go. We go to the front view. Now let's mirror this. I'm gonna shift click and I'm gonna mirror this on the y-axis to see if it's the same. It is pretty much the same. The only thing that changes is the location, as you can see right there. Now we just grab this and we're gonna go to negative world, and there we go. We're able to create this very cool looking pieces, which are supposed to be floating, I would say, right about there. So there we go, in 15 minutes, and we already have like a really, really nice blocking. Now, I'm gonna do a very quick blocking on these pieces as well. So, for instance, right here, I'm just gonna, so I just wanna get a general idea of how this whole thing is gonna look. So it's roughly about that. About there. Let's mirror this the y-axis. Careful there. We're using world though. Okay, let's just duplicate this. I'm gonna scale it the other way around like this. So it's -1 on the y. This is not ideal, but it will work. Let's get it on the other side. And then for this, guys, again, I'm just gonna do a very, very quick blocking so that we have all of the shapes like almost ready to go, and we can keep on polishing. So for this blocking right here, I'm gonna use a tool called the Create Polygon tool, and I'm literally just gonna block the whole silhouette of this thing out. And I'm gonna do the same thing down here. Like that. Why is that black? Because the normals are inverted. So I'm gonna grab, wait, where's the other one? Do that. It's really weird. For this one, just mesh display, reverse. And then up here, again, we're gonna go create polygon. Enter, and there we go. We're gonna grab both of them, Control E to give them a little bit of thickness. And again, if we go to top view, we should be able to like properly place everything where they're supposed to be. I would say these are gonna be like the thickest ones because they're supposed to be or giving the most protection, right? So something like that, I would say. And then this one's right about there. Grab this, guys, and we're gonna do a mirror to the other side. And there we go. So this is the point at which I would like start playing around with, again, thicknesses and stuff like that to make sure that everything looks like chunky enough or proportionate enough. Because I know that eventually we're gonna be like bending all of these things, right? So even here, maybe I'm thinking about like bringing this guy's a little bit like more towards the back. Because again, I know that this thing is gonna be like flipped to the other side. Let's grab this, guys. Let's assign new material, Maya, Bleen, and let's give this guy's sort of like brownish, woodish color. And that's it. As you can see, guys, I mean, this doesn't look like much, but we've only been doing this for 20 minutes. And as you can see, it's starting to look like something. So in the next couple of days, along with news and other stuff, we're going to be working on this. One more thing before I forget, the portfolio for this month is also open. The portfolio submissions for this month, for those of you guys that are unaware, we do this reviews every month. It's usually at the middle of the month. So this one will be September 17 and 18. The link, you will find this on the description below. And if you want to keep improving your stuff, if you want to keep working on more of this stuff, remember that we do have the Skillshare thing available. Yeah, that's pretty much it for this one, guys. Make sure to leave a like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.